give my illustration a Christmassy makeover.
Okay guys, so let's start. I have a lot of different layers. I've kept all of the elements mostly on a separate levels, which means I can turn them off and on again. And I really want to leave the cat as it is. I just wanted to change the colors of the blanket and delete all of the leaves around the cat and underneath it, and add more snow to make it more like Christmas-alike, as well as the blanket colors. I wanted them to be red and green. So yeah, let's go on and just duplicate the layer. I will be taking you through the whole process step by step, just showing how I can change it. Usually I don't do it like that. I actually have never ever redrawn my illustration, but this was a request, so I thought, why not? So let's delete all of the layers we don't actually need. I will leave the sketch on, also my name. Let's see, reflections I will be leaving also there. Those are leaves, we don't need them. I have two of those, as well as the leaves in foreground. And here I have the cat with a blanket. Let's see if we need to delete anything in here. I don't think we don't need to at the moment. I just will turn off all of the light layers because I feel like it distracts me a lot from finishing the illustration. Let's see, it looks like flat. This is his face. We will leave it at that, and we will turn off the glow behind the cat background. We can turn it off, which we will actually do, and probably delete it, as well as the sun. I want to have it right now. More leaves, more reflection in the background. Let's start. So first of all, I will be starting with the background and the foreground. I imagine it to be snowy weather, so we will be replacing the warm background with the cooler tones like bluish. Let's go and just try to change the hue of the background and see whether I can find the color that I really like or not. I'm not really sure whether I like this color. So I will go on and start just adding more different colors in here and see what works best. I want to be really wintry color scheme, more moody, more snowy, more Christmassy. And actually I will go on and choose the soft brush because I feel like it will work better for this purpose. I want the colors to be more vibrant, more intense, and I'm just picking them without even thinking about much about them and about the color theme. And I hope it will turn out decent. Actually, not sometimes, but always you just better go and make a plan and make a color thumbnail. But I wanted to just experiment and play with it and see what works best. It is actually really hard to think whether I like the background colors where the foreground colors are that intense and bright. So for I will go on and turn off the cat layer, the cat group. I will actually delete the background and add the snow on my own. I think it kind of feels better. I will turn on my sketch to see how far I should go with the snow. Let's go and make it more brighter and whiter in here, and we will change it as we go later on. So now I will be going back to my gouache thin gritty brush and go to the background once again, because I feel like here it should be on the horizon, it should be lighter. We will add a little bit of a yellowish tone. See, like ever so slightly, and then go to the pink one. But I feel like the blue should need to be more blue, a little bit more intense. Now I choose soft brush. This is the default brush by Procreate, and I want to add a little bit more blue color to intensify it a little bit more. I think we just need to change the cat first of all, then we can see the whole picture at once. So we will turn on the cat layer, and I know, it's way too warm at this moment. So what we will do is go to the blanket layer and try and change the hue and saturation and see whether it works or not. So I wanted to have like red and green colors. Okay, I think I will leave the red color at that and manually add the green color. Okay, so I've changed all of the colors and I feel like it's way too empty in here, and I want to add like more green and red checks in here and a little bit in here. I will go ahead and select the blanket layer, select, so I can stay in the shape while adding those checks. And I think I need more red in here. Okay, I feel like we need more red in here and then a little bit of a green there. Let's just go ahead and add the foreground snow. I will go ahead with the same stroller, choose the lighter color and go even whiter since it's the foreground, and we will add the snow in here. Let's just go ahead and add more background, a little bit more darker background. It's like a lot of mountains, something like that. I don't know. No to them. Just lock the layer with the alpha lock, and you can click on it and choose alpha lock.
I don't have any reference for the mountains in here. I'm just adding details here and there. Doesn't really matter. It should just give the feeling of the mountains, but we don't need many details or anything because we will be blurring the background. And I decided to add a little bit more color just because I felt like the snow was way too white and way too bright. So with my favorite brush, I added some details, some highlights. I felt like the background wasn't saturated enough, that's why I duplicated the background and lowered the opacity. And here I am blurring the background. As you see, this is the reason why you don't need to worry about the details. But in the foreground, I decided to add more, again, details with another brush. I do use Max Gouache Thin Gritty brush very often. I really like to add color and details into any flat objects, flat colors. So now let's a new layer and set it to an overlay mode to add a little bit more color to the shadow. It is called We See Sky, so the shadows should be more bluish color. I will lower the opacity for that. And as well, I will do it for another shadow layer, which covers almost all of my cat. As you can see, it gives a little bit more cooler tone without changing the cat's base color or anything else. So I am really going without a plan here, and I decided to try and add this classic form of the snowflake and see how it looks like, because I had like those big leaves falling down and I really liked that effect. So I decided why not try and add a few snowflakes and see how they work and just add some motion blur. But before blurring them, I decided to add a few more layers of the snowflakes. I usually do, like for those kind of details, a few different layers, and make the blur a bit different, sometimes more deeper. And as you can see, the idea with the big snowflakes wasn't that good. I wasn't satisfied with it. That's why I decided to turn the layer off. Not completely deleting it, I just changed my mind. So on another layer, I'm going more into the details, adding like smaller snowflakes falling down just to give a depth to the illustration, like the snow from different distances. I feel like my reflected light is still too warm, so I decided to change it a little bit, make it a little bit cooler because we have a cooler tone illustration. That's why I'm just going over my overlay layer that I had before and just adding some other colors, more cooler colors, and changing the whole picture. And I feel it feels like more right. So now let's add a new layer, set it to an overlay mode and a clipping mask because I want to add a little bit more color to the snow. It isn't flat in the nature, so it kind of feels like it needed more color to it. I'm adding it to the fore and background. And I feel like the snow in the foreground needs a little bit more depth, so I added a new layer and set it to a multiply mode. Shows like a little bit darker bluish color and just going to the edges left and right, adding a little bit more of the shadow. I feel like I waited way too much, so I'm kind of going in with the eraser brush and just deleting some of the shadow on the edge of the snow. I did delete my old logo name because it was outdated and I just imported the one I'm currently using, changing the color to match the mood. So now comes something I think I never shared before. I'm copying all of my layers and pasting them like the whole image on the one layer, and I am adding the noise to it to give it like more cinematic look. And that's it guys for today. I hope you liked the video and found it helpful, and if you did, please like and click a subscribe button if you haven't already. And I wish you beautiful holidays and a Merry Christmas to you, and I see you in next year. Bye!